Welcome to Facts and Facts. This is my first ever comment response video. I rarely do anything that's unscripted and that isn't written out. I normally don't come like super duper prepared, but I try to be as I want to be as candid and as raw and as unscripted and unfiltered as I can be in this video. So I'm kind of taking it, kind of being nonchalant and just taking it like it is. You know what I mean? So let's dive into it. The first couple of comments are from shorts off of my Star Trek is Fatherhood video. The first comment is from the Joker Nova, and he asks, "The fuck are you on about?" I'm talking about fatherhood. What the fuck are you on about? No, it's a Star Trek video. I don't know what you're saying. The fuck are you on about? Get the fuck out of here. The next comment is from Cryptic717, and they say, "Keep your head up, mate. Learn as you go." Hey, thank you, Cryptic. I have experienced the full spectrum of what fatherhood can be and what it can bring and how it goes and the ins and outs. By no means am I an expert. Do I have any regrets? I mentioned a couple of them in the video, but overall, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I hadn't gone through the experiences of being a father. I wouldn't, I wouldn't have the growth that I've gotten without being a father. And I'm not perfect, but I try my best to keep my head up and to keep learning. So thanks. The next couple of comments are from a couple of shorts that are a two-parter basically, and they're titled Democratic Socialism versus Social Democracy. The first comment is from Grubs517. All one needs to do is research the unbelievable success of the policies of the FDR administration in bringing the United States out of the Great Depression. The huge projects that actually made America great. Who knows how we would have responded to the dire threat of world war had it not been for the fact that we had regained our economic footing. I dare say it was this national upturn, this actual patriotism, that fueled even more growth and the societal improvements of the 50s and 60s. The notion that we all have a place at the table, it pains me to see the petty jealousies and xenophobia tearing that good asunder. Yeah, Grubs, I couldn't have said it any better. There have been countless numbers of social programs since World War II. And I saw this list of them that I can only, maybe recollect a few of them, but the highway system, um, you know, trash collecting, paving the roads, just so many different systems. I mean, we all know the big ones: Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare. Um, those things are all social programs that are attacked and put down and kind of disparaged in a lot of different ways. But there have been so many different things that people don't realize are social programs, and the fact that back close to 100 years ago, a president, to get us out of the depression, enacted all of these different programs to help us bounce back from the Great Depression and also be able to respond to the world war that was impending, um, and then continue to help the country flourish. Now, caveat on that one: not all of the country flourished. I mean, there were a huge segment of the population, essentially the black community, who had to deal with redlining and segregation. Um, but for the most part, and even to some of those communities, that wealth distribution, and those social programs really helped them grow as well. The next comment is from Keelan Triplet 9130. Nice. But currently we have socialized losses and privatized gains. It's like socialism for the oligarchs. In some ideal world, you would be able to show people clear proof and make inroads. Instead, the collective IQ is now so low, the response is, what about? Insert something they saw on the Facebook. So true, Keelan. This is a serious issue that we're dealing with right now. It's very akin to the Gilded Age of 130 years ago, where the wage and the wealth disparity was so vast. And today, now we have this, like you said, this socialism for oligarchs, these tax breaks and these abilities for them, that the government grants for them to kind of circumvent paying their fair share. Um, and no matter how many uh, facts and figures and tables and other bits of information that you want to share with people, um, especially nowadays when attention is just, you know, down at the bottom of the barrel, is almost non-existent. Um, it's easier to try to catch people's eye with these quick little blurbs that you know aren't always true. I would say 90% aren't true, but it's the way the world is, and it's really sucks, and it's really really frustrating. So yeah, good point. The next two comments are from my video, Embracing Doubt, my unfiltered path away from Mormonism and religion. Oh, whoa, that's a mouthful. Decipher TT says, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Mormon. I found your video interesting. In your time in the library, what other books did you come across? There are some scholarly works I think you might find interesting. Also, your closing statement about certainty brings me to be curious where you find certainty now, if not from a religious savior concept now. Would like to hear about that sometime. Cheers. Well, Decipher, I actually replied to this comment in the comments. Um, I don't have the specific book titles. I only bought um, No Man Knows My History. Um, but I checked out encyclopedias, magazines, old newspaper articles. Checked the church's website, and I've done so throughout the years to get information. Um, and so that's part of it. Where I find certainty now is in science and in truth. Um, Facts that are incontrovertible, um, and also the humility of knowing that if things change, that those facts can change. And so I'm malleable and flexible in that sense. Um, so those things bring me certainty, going and checking up on the latest news in physics and the particle accelerator in France at CERN. Um, Listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson, um, those types of things bring me certainty, in what I have and what I feel in life. And like I said in my comment, please feel free to send me some links about scholarly works. I'm always down to learn. So thanks. AI End Time says, I commend you on following the truth wherever it may lead. Do you still believe in and follow Jesus? AI End Times, no. And no. I don't believe in Jesus. I don't follow Jesus. I I am I would consider myself more on the atheist side of the spectrum. I used to be agnostic. That's kind of where I started out the journey, kind of saying I don't know. Um, However, as time has gone on, the idea of religion and of a God seem less and less likely to me. Um, I do believe that human beings are special in in a scientific cosmic sense, and not so much that we're the sole beings or we're the most important beings in the universe at all. No, it's just that we arose through all the randomness and the tempestuousness of the chaos that goes on in a forming solar system and in an ever changing universe. And I feel that we are we're special in that way. And so like I said in the previous comment, science and truth are my guideposts, and you know, lead me in the direction that I want to go in. But I appreciate you for commending me for following the truth. I encourage you to do the same, and everybody to do the same. Thanks. The next comment is from a short from my video about why Forrest Gump is my favorite movie. And another one from Grubs517. I think they currently hold the record for the most comments on my videos. Love you, man. Grubb says, that pre-movie ritual was responsible for my multiple misses of the opening to the original Star Wars. Didn't see that cool title screen effect until the video came out. I think I put some laughing emojis in the comments when I replied to this. But yeah, that pre-movie ritual is pretty fun, and there's a lot of good memories that go along with that certain pre-movie ritual. And if you know, you know, right? The next two comments are from my Star Trek is blank video. Corporal, I think it's Corporal Coyote, that's it. Corporal Coyote says, Star Trek is about having intimate relations with every remotely female-looking alien race in the known and unknown galaxies. Corporal Coyote, I think you're right. Anthony Jordan Movies and Gaming 86 proclaims, Star Trek is dead and it's never coming back. Anthony Jordan Movies and Gaming 86. Fuck you. No, just kidding. I don't. If this is not a trolling comment, then you're that's a serious comment, which I doubt it is. I think it's just a troll, and you're just trying to be silly and funny. But if Star Trek is dead, then I don't know what alive is. I just don't, because Star Trek is alive and well. Star Trek is growing and expanding. More and more people are learning about Star Trek, are embracing it, are watching the original series, and just doing so much with Star Trek. And then we have series that are coming out. Starfleet Academy is on its way out here in January, and hopefully, Star Trek Legacy um, will be something on the horizon with Seven of Nine and that crew. I'd love to see that. Except for Michelle Hurd, I have to get that out. I wish her part of Star Trek was dead. I struggle with her character. Um, but with that said, it is coming back. It is back. It's you're a troll, Anthony Jordan, a fucking troll. The next comment is from my first Three Eye Atlas short titled "It's Aliens." No, it's an interstellar comment. Valley Perks 684 observes, crazy to me that we are all experiencing experience and flying through space. Valley Perks, yeah, it's crazy. Just crazy. The next comment is from my video, The Story of an Ex-Mormon, Raw. Joshua Koenig, N1G says, thank you for sharing your experience. I am an active member of the church and have also had a lot of questions. I love that you talked about doing your own research. I think a lot of people think they are researching, but only focusing on one side of the argument. I think when considering church issues, it's good to look at the best research done by both members outside and inside the church, because both sides have a bias. Personally, I have reconciled a lot of the questions and feel like the study of church history has strengthened my testimony of God being able to work with imperfect people. I know there are still a lot of issues within the church, but what we are working towards is becoming more like Christ. Joshua, I am a huge, huge supporter of people people like you who use religion to help and to grow, um, and to find happiness for themselves. Huge supporter of that. There are a lot of people that use religion as a control mechanism, and so that's a really really tough thing for me to swallow. But I am so grateful to know that you are not one of those people. I'm curious about what questions you had, that made you feel like you needed to reconcile them, and you decided to go and study and stuff. And I'm just curious about that. Um, for me, there's a whole range of issues that I find, and we won't dive into it here. But as it pertains to research, I think I said it earlier in my in one of the last couple of comments ago or something, that um, researching all across all across, from people who are supporters to anti-Mormon research or anti-religion research, um, those hearing all those people's their takes and their research themselves, and cobbling and gathering all that up and being able to come to your own determination, I think is priceless, and I think is the only way to go. It sounds like for you, uh, it helped you come closer to your Savior and to your God, and to becoming more like Christ. For me, it affirmed, kind of the feelings that were already there. And not that I was, I guess there was a bias, but I tried really hard not to just search things that would support my personal beliefs or the things that I was feeling. I wanted to get contradictory information. I wanted to hear from the church. And I had already been a member of the church, so I had that knowledge to and base to start with, and then I had all these other bits and pieces of experience, coupled with research in the library and on the internet, that helped me kind of skew the opposite direction as you did. So good for you, Joshua. Thanks for the comment. The last comment comes from my shutdown fact short titled, "What Triggered the Shutdown?" Devin Davidson 3976 says, "Thanks for speaking the truth and not embellishing. You can fact check what you said on Google and it states exactly what you just wrote." Well, yeah, I mean, I started with Google, and then I went through and fact checked what I was getting from Google, and I clicked on some links, and that's how I got to where I was at to provide that information. But I appreciate you for seeing that I wasn't embellishing or trying to, you know, coerce in any way. I think some of my videos, yeah, I will definitely, my tone of my voice, my inflections, and some little added parts that I put in there, I think obviously show the side that I lean on. But with the facts, I really want you to listen to the facts. Um, for those of you don't uh, that don't care for facts and don't want to uh, take any facts from someone or to hear any facts, whatever the case is, um, I want those people to hear it in my voice, to hear the silliness that I think that some of these facts portray, to the seriousness that these facts point out, and some of the absurd kind of counter narratives. I want my voice to kind of to show that, hey, the fact, even though what everyone else says is contradicts it, this is the fact, and it's silly and funny, that people would do so much mental gymnastics to kind of just go against it and fight against it and not want to believe it. But yeah, thank you, Devin Davidson. use Google, click on a few links, cross-reference, use different sources. Don't just rely on one source or on Facebook, you know, and try not to embellish if you're going to share facts with people. I guess I don't. Well, that's it for my first comment response video. Pretty rough. It's my first one. Um, as I said 7 times, but really, it's something that's new. I've never really done it before. Had a lot of different little takes, and hopefully the edit comes out good. Um, I hope it's just an interesting watch. Uh, One last thing, if you are liking my content and want to choose to support it, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I will get back to them, and either I will comment directly to you or I will do one of these videos. Um, but yeah, all those things help this channel grow, and it's something that I'm working towards bit by bit. My subscribers are continue to grow week by week, but it's very small increments, and I want to hopefully get a little more traction. So any any help you can give me by liking and subscribing and commenting would be awesome. Share it if you want. Share this video or any other videos of mine. If you want to support me on other social media, links are in description. If you want to support me on other social media, the links are in the description down below for TikTok and Instagram. And if you have a few bucks to spare, help a brother out. Link to my Venmo is down there too. Appreciate y'all. And as always, stay engaged.